Well, good evening. Welcome to American Reversion. I'm Steve Smith. I'm catching you at the end of the day in the evening now. It was a busy day. I'm petting my dog. My dog is sitting here to my right, and he's looking up into my face. He hadn't seen me for a few hours, so he's giving me one of those deep I love you looks, with his eyes, and I got to look at him and let him know that I'm talking to him. He thinks I'm talking to him. So welcome, join me. I'm finally relaxed, and it's been a busy day. Sitting down with a can of my favorite Buffalo Sweat. If you all have been with me before, you might know that this is what I like. It's there goes the nightly motorcycles. They shouldn't be back till later. It's made right here in Kansas by Tallgrass Brewing down in Wichita, and it is good. It's not as good as Murphy's, but I like it better than Guinness. It's did I say it's an oatmeal cream stout? And it is good. Excuse me, I have to have one more before we get going. Good boy. So welcome to everybody. Welcome to all the new people. Welcome to all the new people on YouTube and over on Patreon. If you're not with us on Patreon yet, I'd love you to be over there with us. It's easy to do. The link is down here. It's just patreon.com/American Reversion. And it's our membership site. Become a member. It's only costs you $1 a month. And I put a lot of stuff over there in addition to what I put here. And it helps you help us. It's a way that you can support the channel if you feel that the channel is worth supporting. And that's entirely up to you. But we're doing our bit. We're trying to do our bit as we come into this next election season and get the word out to more people. It's been a bad week for the left, hasn't it? Let me control my sadness. Bad week. I start out. What have they had to deal with this week? Disney. Okay, DeSantis pulled Disney's special permission, whatever that is, that let them get away with everything in the world, pretty much. They thought that because so much of the right has just rolled over so often and for so long, the left and the wokesters think they can just get away with anything, and they've been doing it. But DeSantis said, well, I can do things too, and he did, and he pulled that, and it's going to cost Disney a lot. It's going to cost them billions. We'll see what happens out of that. There's already a lot of us. We haven't supported anything Disney for a long time. I know a lot of you haven't either. If you're tuning in, you say, well, what's wrong with Disney? Just look into it a little bit, and you'll see there's plenty to find. I'm not going to talk about that tonight, but Disney's all about supporting the wrong things. I'll just put it that way. And what happened after that? CNN Plus turned into CNN minus, didn't it? They have subtracted CNN Plus from plus and made it a zero. Chris Wallace and Mr. I'm better than everybody, out of a job, as are many of those other people over there. I guess that, like I heard somebody say, so this isn't original. They found out that people wouldn't pay for what they didn't want for free. CNN. Fox isn't much better anymore, sadly. There are a couple of shows on there that are good. Tucker's great. I had it with Hannity a long time ago. He hits on about two cylinders. I mean, every now and then he's talking about something right. He's just supporting too many things that are absolutely outside the umbrella of conservatism. And so I don't watch him anymore. Levin, I've pretty much let him go too. Bongino's pretty good, so I'll stick. Bongino, Gutfeld, Jesse Waters is he's pretty good sometimes, but I take it Tucker's carrying that channel. Then what happened after CNN Plus became a minus? Netflix. Yes, the home of the savior, Obama. He went over there to turn it into something that was going to change the world, just like he tried to change the world and did change a lot during his time in office. But it seems like people don't like that. Conservatives are finally voting with their pocketbooks. I've been on this thing for a long time. I do believe in boycotts. Another thing that Hannity is wrong about. They boycott us all the time, but we won't boycott them. We keep on spending our money and supporting the people who hate our guts. And we're paying it. We're paying for our own destruction when we do that. So let's stop doing that. And obviously a lot of people are starting to stop. So Netflix is taking a dive. What's their stock down? Like 25%, maybe more now? I don't know. I was watching some different stocks today. I was watching Twitter, which is the fourth thing. Okay, so Elon buys Twitter. It's been an up and down kind of situation. I own some of their stock. I sold it because it's going to be too volatile here for a while, and I don't like volatile stocks. So we'll see if we see some stability in there and it looks like they're going to come back. I'll buy it back because I think it's great. I think that what Musk could do and apparently intends to do is exactly what is needed. He had an exchange. A tweet exchange with Ben Shapiro. It wasn't a bad exchange at all. Shapiro tweeted something like, and I won't get it right, I read it, but he tweeted, it's good, you can return this to, a fair and balanced equal time. And Musk responded, he said, well, yeah, it needs to be balanced, and I want as much area under the curve as possible. He says, but that doesn't mean that the far right is going to be happy either. We will see. Everybody has a different idea of what far right is. A lot of people would consider me far right. I don't know what far right is. I think you're either right or you're wrong. How about you? So anyway, it's headed in the right direction. That's for sure. I mean, that is great. So man, they've had a bad day, right? And now with Trump's, is it Truth? I'm not on there yet. I'm gonna get on there. Is that what it's called? I may have it wrong, but whatever Trump's platform is, I haven't gotten on there yet. I'm going to. Okay, now we think that things are going, oh man, and that comes on the tail of last week. Remember all those mass shootings that nobody ever heard of again, right? Sacramento, New York, what was the other place? Columbia, South Carolina. Had a whole lot of mass shootings. And sadly for the libs, these suspects didn't fit into the proper demographics for their favorite, anti-gun movement. But it showed us some reality, didn't it? So the cities continue to burn. The cities continue to have problems. We know that we have an invasion coming up from the south. They're trying to get us into a war over in Ukraine. They're trying everything in the world to do that. One side and another, Putin says Lavrov said, Sergei Lavrov, the Russian, is he a foreign minister, I think? He said that, we could be getting closer to a nuclear war. As I said on the other channel earlier, I don't think it'd be an all-out war. I can foresee a regional exchange because I think he thinks that it's easy to back the West off, and he should. The West should back off. We're the ones starting that crap over there. We shouldn't be doing it. Just like we've started so many things that we shouldn't have started. Because after all, we've got plenty of young American blood we can send over there, right? And plenty of American taxpayer dollars to enrich the elite. So anyway, things have not been going their way. Now, does that mean things are going our way? Yeah, on the surface. But it also means that it's time to be careful. Because we're going into an election season to where the Dems, first off, their top two people, should be their top two people. That's sad, isn't it, when you think of these two bozos, Biden and what's her name, Harris? Those are their top two people? I mean, if they have a brain cell and a half to rub together, I don't see it. And those are their top people. Well, of course, they're both. Their approval numbers are just horrendous, right? I think STDs are more popular than they are. And then they're looking at taking a real bath in the fall. So what does that mean? I know half of you are out there screaming right now. False flag, right? What's coming? They need something. They are even some of their political thinkers are admitting that it's going to be a horrible, horrible off-year election for them. Go lay down. All right. I have to turn away here like this. That's his sign to go lay down. That's right. So they even know it's going to be horrible. Well, they have some things coming up that they cannot afford to lose this election. Now, are they going to lose it? Yeah, they should by all intents and purposes. The way things look, they should lose it. Will they? Who knows? Because they should have lost the last one, and did. But something happened. A whole bunch of somethings happened, right? Well, what happens if the Republicans take back the House and the Senate? And I think, if there's no sneaky business, but there's going to be. You can't say if there's none, because there always is. Depending on how much we're able to control the illegal things going on, the Republicans should take both of them. Now, what happens if that happens? Well, there's a whole lot of investigations coming, aren't there? There's Hunter's laptop, and there is the January 6th picnic, and what happened there, the FBI involvement, going back clear to Hillary and her little Russian escapade. The Republicans say that they are preparing for this, and they're going to hit the ground running if they retake the House and the Senate. Now, they've said that before, and they never do. They don't hit the ground. I'll tell you who hits the ground running, and that's the Democrats, don't they? I mean, the first day Biden was in, bam, 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 bam. He just totally disassembled everything that Trump had put together that had gotten America back on its feet. Now we're down on our knees again. We're being invaded from the south. We're being tricked to the east. We're being attacked from the inside. We're flying in and allowing more and more non-citizens and spreading them all over the country. Refugees all over the country. To do what? Well, we know what. So they can't allow these investigations to go forward because you and I both know that these investigations would find enough to put a lot of people in prison. Now, half these people ought to be in prison right now. They should have been in prison for what they've already done. Of course, that never happens, right? Because we have an elite. We're not being a democracy, they want us to be a democracy, not being a representative constitutional republic anymore. Who knows what we are. These elite don't go to jail. So what's going to happen? They can't take the chance. That's the thing. They can't take the chance because they know that if the Republicans get in and they run these investigations, they're going to find what they're looking for. Now, the biggies, no, they're not going down. They're gonna throw out a minnow here and a minnow there. Sacrificial, low-level people. Maybe a couple will find themselves, suicided, and then the media will assure us that, well, justice has been done. We're going to make sure this never happens again. Blah, blah, blah. But it's going to paint such a horrible picture for the Democrats, and it's going to going to bring the truth out to too many people about too many people. They can't have that. They have to sell their books. They have to be able to be on shows. They have to at least keep it to where MSNBC and CNN will keep having them on their shows. Because if it gets too bad, even those people won't support the criminals because they have their own butts to take care of, right? And we've already seen, it was interesting, who was it today? It was a Wall Street Journal, who, is supposed to be kind of a right-leaning, conservative journal. What were they talking about? Maybe I shouldn't have brought it up because it's not coming to mind right now. But we've seen even the New York Times start to actually mistakenly perhaps, say the truth on a couple of things lately. That usually means that the media is starting to see that there is such a tsunami coming, they'd better get on the right side of it. They're never going to support the right. They're never going to support the Republicans and let the Republican like Susan Collins or Romney or something like that. But at least they will distance themselves from the left and the Republicans. So anyway, that's kind of the situation that we're in. What do you think about that? I'm looking for a false flag. It's hard to know whether it's going to be several or whether it's going to be. Excuse me just a second. Sorry, I had to take a minute. My dog came up and spilled a little bit of my buffalo sweat. So anyway, that's the situation. That's how I see it. That we're in for a false flag of either several medium ones or a big one. And I would say a few smaller ones leading up to a big one sometime late summer, early fall. Something that they'll say, and that's why I'm looking for a war. They'll say, we can't, remember the old we can't change horses in the middle of the stream? That kind of jazz. And the problem is that the American people, for the most part, are stupid enough to fall for that. Now, I know you're not, I'm not. But they will say, we have to, the American people won't say, you got us into this war, you're gone. They'll say, well, we can't change leadership right now. All right? Anyway, those are my thoughts for tonight. I'm going to finish this, go play with the dog. He needs a little attention. Actually, he wants my buffalo sweat. He's not getting that. He's not getting any more. He spilled a little bit of, he can lick that off off the deck. Let me know what you think. It's going to be an interesting time. And interesting times can be dangerous times. Make sure you're, being careful. Prep up. We know the challenges that are already here and probably more coming our way with other things we'll talk about another time. But let me know what you think about this. And spread this around. Let your friends know. We'd love to have them involved. We'd love to have them join us. If you want to support us, remember, come over and be a member over on Patreon. We'd love to have you over there. And remember that America needs a reversion. If it doesn't get a reversion, it's going to have something else. And whichever it needs, whatever it comes, it needs you to be a part of it. You all have a good night. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.